I recently asked on my community page which piece from Final Fantasy should be the next one we feature on the channel. The most popular answer was You're Not Alone from Final Fantasy IX. So that's what we're going to do. I'm excited. Let's go. Hello and welcome in. My name is DrumRollTony. I'm a streamer on Twitch, musician, and music teacher living in Seattle. Music from Final Fantasy. We have a couple videos on the channel, but I think it's good that we keep adding considering how grand the scope of it is. So I'm reading the video description of the video we're going to use for this reaction. I want to read it to you because I want your opinion. It says, this music is part of the event that takes place near the end of Disc 3, and in my opinion, the most epic part in any Final Fantasy game, no questions asked. That's a huge statement. My curiosity is going through the roof right now. I definitely want to know what you think about that. Continuing on. True that the song by itself does no justice without actually experiencing it yourself while playing, but it's still great naturally. Now, I tend to agree with that because context bias with whatever the medium is that you're experiencing it, if you have experienced it, it's going to mean more to you, to your soul, to whatever, everything, you're sponging it all up. Like, I agree with that. However, sometimes when we're doing surface level musical analysis, we're just analyzing it from kind of like a bird's eye point of view here and looking at layers like just a little bit. It's nice to not know anything because you don't have any reason to like or dislike something. You're just taking it in as a first time listen because like I've said in other videos, I played the original back in the day. Like I don't have any hours in this, so it's kind of nice and advantageous in that way. And finally, Nobuo Uematsu is a genius, and anyone out there that doesn't think so can kiss my ass. I love it. I love it. Okay, let's actually get into this. I'm very excited. Let's go. Smooth. I like how the bass movement and the chord progression there was nice. Ah, 8-bar phrase, okay. Cool. Little pan flute and the halftime snare drum. This is gorgeous. The guitar line that came in there, that's a nice little timbre change. Let's talk about why this is so smooth. What a cool vibe that we're getting. The synth voices in the beginning, it's so big, open legato and smooth. Especially that low end. I'm getting such a nice headphone experience on moving down there. That's very, very cool. The background percussion, it's so light, barely tangible. It does so much for the groove. It feels like shaker, little hi-hat there. I thought I heard like, I think I'm just hearing that. It's just kind of way the frequencies, I guess, are oscillating within those synth voices. But the main takeaway is what a mood they're setting before our melody comes in. And the obvious offbeat being so present, just dividing that equally. Bum, 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 bum. So it's an 8-bar phrase, but within the first 2 bars of this, you get a really similar rhythmic setup that's going to like kind of dictate the cadence. Cadence meaning the way we're moving with the rhythms through this melody within this 8-bar phrase. You get it right away. Right here. 2, 3, and 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Da 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 da. So we got 1, 2, 3, and 4. Da 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 da. So it's a little different within the first 2 bars. However, the cadence makes you feel a similar, I guess, listening experiences within the melody, but within the rhythm of the melody, if that makes sense. Here comes bar 3. Similar. Now we have bar 5. Bum, 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 bum. Very similar to the beginning, yet the chord progression is going to be a little bit different on the second half of this. So you can kind of think of it, this is like the verse, right? But we have the first 4 bars, we'll call that the A, and then the second 4 bars, we might call that like A prime. Like it's a little bit different there. So I know we keep stopping and starting. This is the kind of stuff that we do in this channel, but it's so simple, so accessible, yet so effective, which means so genius. I love it because of the experience that we get from it. And all the while, percussion still in the background. And then, of course, we get our boom, boom, brah, halftime groove from our drum set, our simulated drum set here. I do love the digital tone that we're getting out of the snare drum, though. It's a lot of fun. And it feels, the melodic content feels similar, yet the timbre, the sound of what we're getting is more like kind of like pan flute-ish. I am by no means, I'm like not an expert at all in all our digital soundscapes. Like that's not me. We just kind of talk about what they're doing and where they're going with it and how it makes us feel. Still, same divisions of the bar. Very effective. Cool. The other thing I'm going to add that is present through, this is 1:08 in, the entire time that synth voices, they almost feel organ-like. They're not, though, but they just kind of have that, like, they're just so present within, like, how you're experiencing this. They're very loud. I'm curious if that's going to stay consistent throughout the entire piece, or are we going to have such an enormous wall of sound for our harmonic background, or will that change out? I do know a guitar is about to come, so let's see what the differences are. Ooh. The obvious difference, the guitar comes in, the melodic content is shifted significantly just with that like voice. I don't mean human voice. We often refer to instruments as having the guitar voice, the trombone voice, the horn voice, etc. It's really shifted with that being the main voice present. It feels suddenly like almost like a Top Gun maneuver there. It's pretty cool. For me, the biggest takeaway, the obvious difference within the groove that's underneath the track. Let's go back to like 107 and grab the change here when guitar enters. That's huge, right? It adds a lot. Like that big, remember that we talked about the wall of sound. Will it still be present? It is still present. However, adding that percussion, it feels like kind of right side headphone for me. It really adds enough variety to not distract, but I guess complement the big sound that's in the background so much that it feels related, yet it still feels enough to be different. Now, other things that feel different underneath this. If we listen to the guitar, listen to the next layer down under the guitar supporting it. We do. Okay, maybe it comes in. I swear, I put money on it. It's not. I can't hear it right now. I felt like we had some choir, like voice properties going on. Maybe I'm wrong. I don't hear it now. There it is. Ba 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 ba. Sorry, I was like, oh my God, I can't believe it just said that and it's not there. It is there. It just was on the second half of the phrase. That's cool. These are huge genius adds, right? We're taking similar movement. Nothing has changed from the beginning. Harmonically, melodically, we are outlining the same contour, the way everything is moving within the math of how the notes are aligned. That's all similar. It's just keeps augmenting and adding these cool little elements that makes it really fun to listen to. Where are we going to go from here? What will be next? Back to elements. A little more bend that time. Elements from the beginning here. Oh. Some variety there in the chord progression. Well, I guess some variety in the voice leading within the chord progression. We didn't talk about this earlier. Bum, 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 bum. Whatever the melody is, it's just kind of being plunked out with the right hand. So simple. Like, if you really think about how short and staccato that kind of line is versus everything else that is so open and smooth. Water over rocks, right? Legato, water. The stream flowing versus bum, 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 bum. Way more like plectrum, more plucked type of sound within our synth keyboard sound there. Those two opposites work together so well because if you think about it, if you were to make the main melody, it would blend in with the background like significantly and it wouldn't stick out as much. So just really great usage of how to have your listener definitely experience those two parts separate when they're stacked, like if you think of it like a sandwich, when they're stacked on top of each other. Very familiar, but this section sounds similar to the previous one. Now, this might be incorrect. I don't feel like we had like a sound on that downbeat with those. We kind of focus more on the doom, doom, bra. Maybe there was a I didn't hear it. We're definitely hearing it now, but it easily could be that I just was so distracted with a different part that it might not have been there. But it does feel like that is an addition. Let me know if you notice a difference, though, in the comments. Are we looping? It's possible. So epic. We're looping. It doesn't matter. It's so good. Bookends will end the way we began. So, remember those questions I asked you in the beginning about what you thought about the description of the video and the piece of all pieces? How do you think about that? For me, having no context whatsoever, I can give you my immediate feedback, and I love it, man. It's cool. Like, it's such an effective use of how do we establish in a world right now. Now, granted, I know Final Fantasy. When did this come out? When did Final Fantasy 9 come out? My point being, the world as it goes right now with like what reaches the most ears out there in the pop music world. We're kind of void of pretty good melodic and harmonic content. it's nice to have something like this be so simple yet so effective and take us through a couple variations in augmentation on what's going on and have it be such a smooth listen. Does that make sense? Because for me, that's a home run. Like things don't, I mean, I appreciate a lot of music. We do a lot of stuff on here that's like people with crazy chops and like really, really complicated stuff. But yet for this, it's so smooth. I can only imagine playing the game. This comes on. I'm probably putting the controller down. I'm going to have a lot, because we talked about context bias at the beginning. You know, I'm probably going to chill out and listen to this. It's going to mean a lot more because I'm going to have the association with the game. But merely listening from a music standpoint and digesting it real quick, you know, we didn't spend that much time on it, but just going, okay. The next level would be sit down on the keyboard, plunk out the melody, figure out the chords, and be like, oh, cool, this is how the chords are moving and the voice leading. And, oh, that's a fun way that, you know, these like resolve here and move here. Like that would be the next part. And then you're like, oh, you have a really good idea of how he was using the melodic and harmonic content, because that's, you know, then you can have a full appreciation for what's going on and getting inside someone's head and what their vision was for that part of the game. So anyway, that was a lot of fun. I'm glad we asked. You know, there's been a lot more answers on that community page other than just this one. So we probably need to do more, but feel free to let me know in the comments in this video what else you'd like to see. Okay. Thank you very much. My name is DrumRollTony. Catch me when I'm live on Twitch. You can find the links to my socials down in the video description below. Please and thank you. Click the like button, subscribe to the channel so you can catch the next video. YouTube thinks you want to watch one of these two videos next. I appreciate you being here. Have a great day. Take it easy. Bye-bye.